Everybody, how's it going? I am Chris Flowers. I am the host of Here's the Deal, where we educate, elevate, and inspire entrepreneurs. And we're also here with Eric Whitmore. He is the founder of My Biz Coaches and the host of the Biz Coach Show. Now, this is going to be a little bit different because A, we're on location. B, we're going to do two shows at once. We're going to do my show and Eric's show. I produce both of them anyway. So we're going to do both of the shows at the same time because we had to get these guys in. As you can see, the taco spot. I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't been to one of these locations, get to one because it's fire. It's straight up fire. All right. So I just want to introduce the Ruiz brothers. We got Jorge and Jesus, and you guys are from Chandler.
Yes, we were born in Chicago and raised here in Chandler.
Okay. And then so you started the taco spot in 2020, even during a pandemic.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
And I had met Raul. He is their business development officer. He is Raul with no onions, by the way, and he does all the promotion work for him and things like that. So, and that's who I had met during networking group. And the story was just so fantastic. Like, hey, we got to get these guys on the show. And I told Eric about it. I'm like, yeah, we got to have these guys on the show. So why don't you guys just go ahead if you want to just introduce yourselves and give a little background on that.
Yes, I'm Jorge Ruiz, founder, TalkSpot, and then. Hi, I'm Jesus Ruiz, co-founder of the TalkSpot. My background: I used to be a barber before we started the TalkSpot. So yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're going to talk about that too.
He's a cut above, right? My name is Raul Martinez. I'm the director of marketing and business development for the Taco Spot, and it's been an amazing ride. I've been with the company and with the team 19 months now, but I've known them since they opened. It's amazing. It's a career. I can't even say change because it was so drastic. I went from being in the fitness and healthcare field to quick service restaurants, and I've never been happier.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I want to just open it up real quick. So obviously this business literally started in a family kitchen. So who taught you guys how to cook, and whose recipe is still the backbone of what the taco spot serves today?
That's a good question.
That's why I asked it.
So before the taco spot, I was a trucker over the road, and we just started in the backyard of my parents' house, making tacos that we didn't even know how to cook. We were burned the meat, tortillas, but it was a journey. And right now, the recipes from Jalisco, my tios, they're the ones to make all the chili, and that
got them in the back.
Yeah, that gets made here. And from there, it's just been learning every day to not burn the tortillas and the meat.
So, what is there? Is there a particular family recipe that you guys really mastered that is the backbone?
Yeah, correct. Well, it would be my tia, the birria recipe.
Uh-huh.
That's like our strong one.
Okay, all right.
You want to add anything to it?
Yeah, lean in, man.
I think besides the actual ingredients, and you hear this a lot when it comes to cooking, and when you enjoy something that you eat, especially if it comes from a family or you're in somebody's home and you hear that it was made with love. There's a lot of passion that gets put into the recipe, and there's a lot of pride that gets put into it. So the first time I tried it, I was blown away, and I know I don't get tired of seeing people's reaction when I take them or meet them there and they try it for the first time. The reaction, the funny part is they look surprised, like. And I look at them and think, why are you surprised? Did you not think it was going to be that good?
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fun thing to see.
Now, I know a little something about food, but I have a little family background in that too. And he knows about the trucking side, so you guys speak that language. But when I first ate there, first I went to the El Mirage location because I'm a West Side guy. But then I went to the original spot right next to the barber shop.
Okay.
I went to that one and I had the ramen. Bro, gas, straight gas. That if you haven't, when you go there, the tacos, of course, are the main thing. Get the ramen for real.
That's awesome. So actually, I have a question in regards to with the My Biz Coach show, we like to interview entrepreneurs and talk about how you got your business started. What was your journey? What are the things you struggled with? What were you frustrated about? What were your biggest wins? Right, things like that. So a lot of my questions are going to be centered around that. So my first question is, so trucking business to tacos, What's that transition?
To barbershop too. Barbershop too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Taking the time, and well, that's the secondary question, because the second question is, how did he convince you to let you sell the tacos in there?
All right, here. So I guess since we were younger, small, we always thought about having a restaurant.
Hmm.
But it was something like we would just talk about it, like, oh, one day we're gonna have a restaurant.
Mhm.
And from trucking to the restaurant, one time I was driving, I was going in Colorado. I was driving in Colorado, and then my trailer just got on fire.
Oh, man.
So
Wow.
it was like 2 a.m,
Wow, dude.
and then it was
Jeez.
it was a brand new trailer. Took care of that thing like crazy.
Mm.
And I called my brother and I told him, like, hey, this happened. And also we hear crying and stuff. I was like, all sad.
Yeah.
And then he told me, like, oh, just come home already. Like, this, do what we always said. He's like,
How old were you when this happened?
I was what, like 25, 26?
Wow.
And he's like, just come back home and we'll figure something out. But in that time, I guess he already had the contractors signed up to build out the restaurant.
Really?
And I was like,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's when he told me.
Wow.
And I was like, wait, what? Like, what are we gonna pay with? He's like, we'll figure it out. And he's always been like that. He's like, we'll figure it out once we get there.
Nice.
And
Who's the older brother?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say he's gotten those trucking phone calls, but that's
Yeah.
he knows your pain.
True story. So I had a 27 trucking operation, and we started in 2017. We had a truck on I-5 just outside of Bakersfield, literally burned to the ground.
Yeah.
So you can relate right
I,
away.
the driver, I remember the driver calling my ops guy, and he's like, hey, my truck just caught on fire. And we're thinking, like a little electrical fire or something like that. He'll put out with the extinguisher. From the time he pulled the truck over onto the side of the road, within 15 minutes, it had burned the entire cab and a third of the trailer.
Wow.
It was crazy.
You've gotten that phone call.
I got that phone call. I can relate to what he's talking about.
That's what I said, man. They speak the same language.
Right now, you guys want to?
See, we
I
would
kinda-
have the tequila. You guys would have been like,
Right, exactly. We may go have some tequila that day.
Everything we have in common, we take a shot.
makes me want to cry right now. Just thinking about it.
He's like, I feel you.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't come up with a taco restaurant. So tell us about the barbershop now.
So with the barbershop, I was 17. No, yeah, I was like 17 when I started cutting hair. So before the taco spot, that's all I did, just barbering.
Okay.
And
Now, is it the exact same barbershop that's there today?
Correct.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
same building.
yeah,
Yeah.
I went and ate there. I'm
I
telling you.
was gonna say I drive by it all the time,
Yeah.
and when he told me what it was, I'm like, "What? You
Yeah.
In fact, I'll add this. His sister still cuts hair part time.
yeah, she runs.
Oh, I was gonna ask.
Only part time because she actually is an owner of a location as well.
Okay.
When they say
Yeah,
this is
I love that.
family
That's a
owned,
great
yes.
story.
It's literally
Gilbert
family
Warner.
owned.
Yeah.
So when I
Gilbert Warner.
when I was cutting hair, I mean, I feel like I was doing really good, but it was kind of like a cap. It was like, what's next?
Right.
It was like because I would always have to be cutting hair to be able to keep making money, income. So I was like, I feel like I was getting burned out at that time
Couldn't scale it.
because I was just there from open to close every day, and I stayed booked. Thank God, like I had a lot of customers, but then there was a storage room next to the barbershop. And that's when I told George, I'm like, hey, let's do something with the storage room because we're building.
So you stuck him in the closet.
Right? So like, let's make a. So like, well, the storage room, let's make something out of it because we were paying rent for it to be there.
All the square footage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were like, literally like, this build a restaurant, like you said.
Mhm.
I was like, but we don't know how. We're like, we'll figure it out.
Figure it out.
So this was right before COVID, and the contractor came in, and we did sign. That was a big part of the story. We signed the contract without having the money. We're like, we'll find a way once we start. So yeah, before the taco spot, that's what I was doing, just cutting hair.
Right. So two key takeaways there. One, you acknowledged you kind of capped out. I can only do so much.
Yep.
Right? I
Yes.
can't go a whole lot further. Right. And I'm starting to get bored now. Right.
Mm.
So huge for an entrepreneur to recognize.
Yes.
Because one of the big factors is once you realize you kind of hit the ceiling on your current opportunity, is you're going to get anxious and you're going to be like, all right, what's next?
Mhm.
Right. And the key is to make sure you have a good plan, not to get caught up in the shiny object syndrome
Yes.
and start
Yes.
chasing the next shiny red button.
Yes.
And then the other thing is, which takes some serious cojones, Yeah, we went ahead and signed a contract and we didn't have the money yet. Huge takeaway, because as an entrepreneur, there's a lot of risk
You're
involved,
betting on yourself.
Yes.
and you're always
constantly.
betting on yourself all the
Yes.
time. That's
that
key.
leads to the next story.
Yep.
Yeah.
It
When it
does.
was time to open the store and actually start doing some marketing,
That's when you
marketing was
showed up.
marketing was a foreign concept to them.
Uh-huh.
So something that, along with some of the other things, they were learning along the way, and there was a discussion on what do we do about marketing.
Right.
Yes.
We got like
So-
a million 5 followers now.
Got like
Almost
1.7.
1.7.
1.7.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
1.7 collective, right? Amongst
Yes.
all the platforms.
Amongst
Yeah.
all the platforms. Still,
Correct.
it's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. Okay, so you got to tell us about the ramen, dude. Like that is.
You
I'm
told
t-
us.
You're
bro.
gonna love.
That was all you.
So you're gonna love the story about the ramen.
Yeah, I swear to God, when you go there, get the freaking. They got a ramen
And I think there's gonna be
taco,
good notes about entrepreneurship.
deal.
Yeah?
The taco with the ramen. Get that one. I don't know. I can't remember what number it is, but it's fire.
He knows the numbers.
Oh yeah.
So the story behind the ramen. So we first opened up. We were like, oh, like we're gonna open the doors and we're gonna have people outside, right? Ready to come in. We had one customer, our first customer. We had our first customer when we opened, like 30 minutes after we opened. He ordered a burrito, and we literally took like 40 minutes to make that.
Oh jeez.
We were so embarrassed. Well, it was good that we didn't have lines, right?
Right.
But like as we kept going, like there's no people, so we didn't know what, like Rose said, we didn't know what marketing was, right? Well, so we had that first boom was because of our birria taco. So our birria taco was the one that took us out, right? During that time it was COVID. So during COVID, we were literally like the first. I would say we were like the first ones to bring the birria taco from California, the queso birria. And was this we had an influencer that posted the video and it blew up. So after that it was thank God it was a success. But after that, like 3 months later, we noticed that sales started dropping a little bit. And I told George, I'm like, look, we had a big hit due to the birria taco. So like let's bring something else that no one has here in Arizona. So we saw California, they had the ramen, and we're like, let's do the birria ramen. So we called Tapatillo for the ramen. They're like, oh yeah, you guys need to get 6 pallets. Buy 6 pallets in total to be able to get a pallet. Because during that time it was COVID, so you would go to Walmart.
Oh right.
You go to Walmart and there's literally no Tapatillo.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I remember that.
Yeah. So we were like, in our head, we were like, it's gonna be a hit, so we can't go that route because we're gonna sell out like crazy. So we were behind the barbershop. We were sitting down. We're like, well, let's do it. We had a little storage from there, so we're like, well, let's just get it. Yeah, like a couple days after they deliver a semi truck full of the 6 pallets, and we didn't know how to. The whole storage room got like full of just ramen. We decided to post a picture on Facebook, like, oh, we have ramen now. So some people were angry because they're like, you guys are the reason why there's no. You guys are the reason why.
Worked it all in there.
You guys are the reason why there's no ramen inside at Walmart. We're like, we thought in our heads, maybe it is. Because we saw a lot of ramen.
Capitalism.
So once we got it down to the recipe of the ramen, once we started selling it, we had the next rush. So I think it's always like seeing where the demand is and just taking over right away.
100%.
And that's one of our biggest hit was the ramen.
Wow. Yeah.
And I know why. Damn.
Well,
I tell you what, you got the ace in the hole right over here though. This dude, like I said, I met him at a networking event, met Raul at a networking event, and I thought he was the owner. He was talking so passionately about it. He's so, you know what I'm saying, and he's everywhere. So you got the ace. This is your ace card right here.
Yes.
So you better hang on to him with both hands, I'm telling you, because he talks as passionately about it as you do, and that's the thing. That's, you know, when the people know. When they feel the love, they, you know, even like I said, I literally watching their deal in the back making stuff just now. You know what I'm saying? It's
right.
Family. It's real. It's real. It's real. You know what I'm saying?
Very true. You mentioned family. That's what drew me to them in the first place. The food, phenomenal. If it wasn't, I wouldn't be sitting here at all. But when I found out that his brother was a partner and his little sister was working at the store, and then I just kept hearing about the family, and I'd come in and it was like, those good chairs. It'd be the same 3, but in different positions. And I remember telling him, I said, dude, I'm going to support you guys. I love the story about your family. And he was like, I think he was like, yeah, sure. We didn't know each other well, but we became friends. And my dad died during the pandemic in September, and I was gone.
Yeah, tell that story.
I was gone 2 weeks to go spend time with my mom, and then he came home, and then went back another few weeks. In this time frame, George called me, which Because I was like, I actually said, what does he want? Like, because I was out of town. I'm like, I'm not at the store. So I answer. I'm like, hey, what's going on? He goes, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, what do you mean? I asked around. No one's seen you at the store. I'm just making sure you're good. And I was like, wow. I said, no, I'm not good. My dad died, but I'll be back home in a few days, and I was gonna come see you anyways. I'll tell you what happened when I came home. And he's like, all right. And I hung up, and I thought, man, what a cool dude. I don't even know him well, but he looked out for one of his customers. And from there, I was just like, every time I'd go in there, I'd hope he was there. And the funny thing was, you mentioned earlier, I had a nickname because I don't like onions. So today, as we've grown, now we issue numbers to a customer when they order before we get their name. And mine always said Raul with no onions. So literally, I'd walk in, order, I'd sit down, I'd start eating, and all of a sudden he'd pop in from the outside and he comes sit down and shake my hand. I'm like, oh, hey, how are you doing? He goes, I knew you were here. And I would laugh and I'd look out. I said, you saw my car, huh? He goes, no, look. And he showed me his phone and it said, Raul with no onions just walked in. So he had people looking out for when I'd walk in. But I mean, it was something that I shared this yesterday that I don't think it was ever something they put into print at the beginning. It's part of the game plan now, but it's something that's inherent that came from the family and how they welcome people with open arms into their home.
Right.
And that's the attitude that they carry. And we carry now at the restaurant where when someone comes in, they're not just a customer, they're not a number, they're part of the family. Right. And that's how we treat our staff as well. So it's something that comes from their family. And that's at the end of the day, when I asked someone, I think I asked you, if you had to choose to support a business or a family, what would you choose? Yeah. Everybody says the same thing. 100% family.
100%. You want to tell a story about your dad and you and your dad, you were talking about?
Yes, I can share that. Happy to share that. My dad used to make birria. I was very familiar with the good and the bad. So when I first moved to Arizona in '95, birria wasn't as common as it is today. If you saw a sign, you'd be like, oh. I mean, I remember pulling over and I had to write it down. It wasn't like I can text it like today, where you can just put it on your phone. I remember I'd write it down and like, I have to come back here. What street am I on?
Yeah, right.
And I'd come back and try it, and almost always disappointed. It was never bad, but it was just not quite like you get at home, like with your family. So my dad made it to the point where he did it for weddings and had a goal. When he retired, he was a highway patrolman. He wanted to open a birria restaurant. A point of contention was I didn't want to help him in the restaurant. I agreed to help him online. I agreed to help him with marketing, so even set up an LLC. But I was not going to move back to San Diego and to go work in a restaurant. I pencil pusher sometimes I've been called, but I like sitting behind a desk. I don't like getting dirty. I had never considered working in a restaurant or working with food, and I told my dad it was his fault. He wanted me to study. He wanted me to use my head and don't do labor. And okay, that's what I did. And I like sitting behind the desk.
That's right.
However, this opportunity in the family, it's something that for me has a different meaning because it connects me to my dad. I'm almost still pursuing his dream. So their family helps me connect to my family. And a lot of times people say, are you guys related? Are you guys family? And I always say, oh, I'm adopted. They're like, oh, you're adopted? I said, no, not me. I adopted them. And it's a joke, of course, but I mean, I do consider them like, because of the age difference, like they're like my little brother. So when we have a victory, a lot of times I pull them aside. I'm like, dude, I'm so proud of you. Because I am. I've seen in the 19 months I've been here, I've seen immense growth. I've seen them ask questions that now they answer these questions because now they know the answers. And it's part of what's led to their successes. Their humbleness to want to learn more and want to get better. And literally a meeting this morning, that was Jesus' topic was, we always want to have to get better. We have to get better. We can't just stay the same. So that's my story, how my dad somehow unknowingly put me in position to where now I love what I do.
Man, that's amazing. All right. Great story. I'm going to go back to the birria tacos because when I was doing my research, what I did not realize was that birria tacos were having a national growth. And so you guys couldn't have launched at a better time. Literally, to your point, it wasn't really popular here, right? And when you guys launched, or within some period of time around that was when it really started taking off, and you guys really got an opportunity to ride that. So, as a business person, I'm looking at it and saying, the biggest opportunity that any entrepreneur has, you can work hard, you can build $1 million business, but a multi-million or even a centimillion business, right, to get that big, takes a lot of effort, but it also takes a little bit of luck. There's a little bit of fairy dust that we dust it. And you guys might have stepped in a little bit of that on the way there, which is amazing because and it's not to say that you got lucky because it took all the hard work and everything you did, but that little bit of luck is that piece that pushes you up over the top that really gives you a launch.
Luck with the effort,
right? And that's because you guys were able to grow from 3 to 23 stores in 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
That's awesome.
We're at 27 now.
Yeah, 27 now, right? Yeah, and 30 something by the end of the year, right? Is that the plan?
50?
We'll be closer to 50.
Closer to 50
We
by
have
the end of the year.
14 on the books now that are in development.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We feel like those will be all 14 of those will be done by mid-September, maybe the end. So we're looking at Q4 to still have some more.
Nice.
When's Peoria coming? That's my question.
That's all he wants to know.
Anthem, Avondale, and Maricopa.
Okay.
There you go.
We're getting closer.
Closer.
We're gonna work our way over there.
Peoria. Lake Pleasant Parkway. Think about it.
Think about it.
It's a good location.
It is a good location. That's why I'm saying it. Anyway, just throwing it out there.
But so going from 3 to 23 locations, the question I have is, operationally, that almost what challenges did you guys run into? What were the issues with?
I don't know if we have enough time for that.
So I think like
Might turn into
Raul,
a therapy session.
like Raul was saying, when we had 3 locations, we were literally stuck. We actually moved directions from doing the taco spot, and we started. We're like, what's next? Because we didn't know how to the whole operation, the team, everything, how to open more. Because everything was it was hard to balance, right? So we were just literally stuck. On that point, we were like, all right, well, we did enough with it. We felt like, 3 taco spots, maybe that's enough for us, right? We're like, we wanted to grow more, but we didn't know how. Funny fact, we watched the movie The Founder like 30 times.
So I heard that story.
Yeah.
So we were like
smart men.
So we're like franchise, and then if you see the logo, this part, you know how the arches in McDonald's, that's where it came from. That's
nice.
Okay.
so we wanted franchise, and we want to be like big like McDonald's, but with tacos. But we were stuck, so we didn't know what to do. So we started doing real estate. We did like 3 flips.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Really? Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, we
So
did.
you did get stuck on the shiny red job.
Yeah, we did. But now we look back, and good thing we got stuck, and good thing we did real estate, because thanks to that, there's he's one of our franchisees, master franchise in Utah, but he taught us how to do flips, do real estate. One thing that he told us is like, build on a system on how you build every house. He's like, use the same tile, use the same paint.
There
That way you don't have to
There you go. Smart. Yeah.
back and forth with your contractors. Like, hey, what's next? So the same thing after we did that, we got a mentor. We met a mentor for the taco spot. And that point, we're like, oh, we're done with real estate. We were like, this is not us. Let's go back to what we like, the taco spot. When we got back to the taco spot, we had a mentor that taught us a lot about building our team, how to get an area manager for our operation, so it gave us time to start growing. But the stuff we learned with real estate on the build-outs, we literally did the same thing with the taco spot. So every taco spot you go to is the same tile, the paint, everything, right? So it's easier to build them. Literally, we built the top one was like 30 days for a build-out.
Wow.
That's
And the same
amazing.
thing with like flips. We use the same thing where we get second generations. It already has a hood, it has everything. So it's cheaper, faster to open. So that's one of the main things that we did in the beginning.
Wow.
That's awesome. That's
I don't know
awesome.
if you want to.
Yeah, I was gonna say I gotta hear about the food part of it too, because that had to be hard.
Yeah, I think the biggest part that got us to where we're at is the team. The team we have, they're amazing. And,
Definitely.
so now they still sometimes they'll see me, they're like, you remember when because I would always say like, oh, one day we're all gonna be flying in a jet going from state to state, checking on the restaurants, and then but in that time it was hard to pay them. Like sometimes we were making enough to be able to pay them their weekly paychecks, and they just believed in the brand. I don't know what it was that they sometimes I would get behind like 2 weeks, we want to pay them, and they'll still be there. They'll be there on time next day and stuff. And they remind me that they're like, hey, you remember when you weren't able to pay us and stuff? And it's crazy. It was like, thanks to them, they still believe in the brand, and they're still here with us.
Well, they didn't believe in the brand as much as they believed in you guys.
You guys.
Yeah, no,
Sure.
that's
exactly what it is.
Yeah.
They believed in you and your vision.
I had just did a show on my show not too long ago. It's you guys have, the integrity and the quality. Like, so you're not letting, even because you'll see, a lot of times with franchises, things like that, they'll compromise the recipe. I mean, like I said, literally, I got them in the back mixing it right here on the spot, and they distribute it out to the different stores and things like that. So that you're keeping it just like from the barber shop, just like from your mom's kitchen. It's all still the same.
Yes.
Like I said, the process, like you guys have that system and things like that. So to all you other business owners out there, like I said, don't skimp on it. Don't skip on that.
I want to add something to that real quick.
Yeah, please.
Because that's something that we caught. We're like, if the birria is the main thing that the customers like, let's not change it. Let's not move it. If it works that way already, don't. Because I feel like as customers know when you make changes. Like,
yes,
they
yeah,
do.
totally. You could, yeah.
And you might think like, oh, it's something little, but right away though, you'll see a review and be like, damn, they saw.
Yeah, that's the thing that I was talking about, because they're more worried about the profit margin. Oh, we can lower the cost of goods and increase our profit margin, but the integrity of the recipe goes south. Or whether it's a certain material that you make, you know what I'm saying? Like, like duct tape now is not as good as duct tape used to be back in the day, because they're more worried about the margins and the cost of goods. You guys are like, no, we're keeping the standard is the standard, and it's not going anywhere. And it stands out.
Yeah.
Totally stands out.
If I can offer one piece of advice, don't do that part of the founder part.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Don't change the milkshake. Don't change the milkshake.
Yeah, don't change the milkshake. Don't change
Well,
the
something-
Don't change it.
Yeah.
Something
That
that
was
I
actually a
noticed.
topic that
Because-
the McDonald's machine now doesn't work, but no.
but people will pay more. Keep the recipe that if it costs you more to make it, things like that, then the food stands out for itself. Like, I will pay more for it because it's that damn good.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So but if you start, like I said, like once you lose that rep, and you're not getting it back.
To Eric's point earlier, I couldn't agree with you more, because when there was 3 stores, the goal was to become a brand. But you're right; they were following and placing trust in them.
Yes,
You know what I mean?
totally.
Because the brand was in the works, but they were there from day one. So
They are the
that was where they're placing their trust.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
I felt that when I started, and I started going into the different stores, I'd meet staff, and they're looking at me like, "Who are you?"
Right.
Yeah.
You're not the brothers.
Okay, you're not. And then every now and then I hear someone in the back, "Oh, it's marketing. Raul from Marketing's a marketing guy." And they'd smile, but they wouldn't really talk to me.
Right.
But
Yeah,
I wasn't them.
I was gonna say
I was someone else.
probably because you were Raul No Onions. That's
They didn't trust the onions.
He's like, damn, there he comes again.
That's possible.
Something that I did notice, when we started opening in other states, it was challenging to get our food the same quality in other states. So we actually did something that customers started telling us, like, "Hey, this isn't right. This isn't the taco spot," because we got our rice was getting made in one place, and it was it's just getting to the restaurants, just eating it. But we're like, it's not us. Like, we need to make everything fresh. So now, like, it's nice going out to like different states and being able to get that fresh rice.
Locally sourced. All the
Yeah,
stuff and
rice,
things like
beans, and they make it in house at every restaurant. And now what I notice is like, but it doesn't taste exactly the same as everywhere else. And it's like sometimes when we do like the salsa, some places the chilies may be spicier, or maybe they're not that good or something. But since it's freshly made, it's like you never know how your vegetables are gonna be in every.
That is a
So,
challenge.
yeah.
That's definitely a challenge.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool because now we know it's like everything's made in freshly. I have something else to add to that. In today's meeting, we were talking about this. So right now, literally, we built a system. It's a system for like training. So it's guide videos for the whole franchisee support, marketing, everything. So with the system now that we have, we're ready to. I think we could go like 100 stores back to back to open with no problem now. But
Nice.
everything's about just building those systems,
Yep.
so the operation doesn't fall. And that's one of the things that we're doing right. We started like in December, right? Building this dashboard. It's called the Taco Cloud. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we're building the culture inside the cloud too. So we have our franchisees, we have the whole team members that work at the taco spot. They're part of that community. And for example, we do like, it's kind of like a Facebook page, but let's say today's Raul's birthday. It comes out today's Raul's birthday, and people celebrate like, oh, happy birthday, Raul. So it's really cool. But we have that system now that we're bringing, even though it's different states, we're bringing everyone together.
Yeah.
It's an internal custom social CRM system we're building.
Ah,
So it's already live and we're already utilizing it, and it's awesome. It's where our franchisees can pull up, whether it's data, recipes, graphics, images, and everything. It's already in there. We
Right.
upload it, so it's already covered.
Right.
So it's an amazing tool.
nice.
You guys don't know Eric as well, but on the inside, he's like doing like backflips and things like that. You're saying all his buzzwords. You're saying systems, processes like that. He's like, yes.
Chris is just like,
again with his
If you don't have that's like the foundation of a business. If you want to scale, if you don't have those systems of foundation, if you don't have the culture, that's something this year we put in our culture once a week. We are corporate. We read our culture every week. Every week we make sure that we're going the right direction, and I feel like that's the main thing for your foundation for your business to just keep knowing.
Keep the main thing.
Yes.
The main
yeah,
thing.
I will tell you that is probably one of the most mature things a
Yes.
younger entrepreneur can
Yes.
say, because small business owners generally they don't get the concept of culture, and so what happens is the business grows over a period of time, and they're growing, it's doing its thing, but what they're not paying attention to is what that the culture looks like, because you have a culture whether you create it or not, it exists.
Yes.
So the problem becomes, is it one you created or is it one that evolved?
Yeah.
And if it evolved, it's kind of like, it's not exactly what I really wanted.
Right.
And then you got to go back. And I spent the better part of my career fixing broken programs.
And,
So that's hard to go back.
and
You have
when you
to,
start fixing, it's crazy because when you start fixing the culture, part of the team that were part of the other culture, they're gonna quit on you because
that's it.
this is not us.
Exactly.
And you're gonna see like, why are they quitting? Well, yeah, because they don't fit the culture no more.
Yeah.
So it's actually a
Cut the
good
dead
thing.
weight.
Yes.
Just cut the dead weight.
Yes.
Addition by subtraction.
Yeah,
100%.
exactly.
100%. All right. So, speaking along those lines, so when you're growing the family table, what's the hardest part about trusting somebody outside the family to carry your name and your recipe?
Good question.
I think at first it was like our GM, the area manager. When he first started, he came in. He was really good at kitchen and stuff. We're like, this guy's really good. Like, why? How did he have all this experience? And well, yeah, he worked in restaurants and stuff. But it seemed like he knew our kitchen. And then he started asking for recipes. Like, oh, what's the recipe for this? For everything.
Oh,
We're like, this guy's
Uh-oh.
probably coming in here to get something else.
yeah.
And it was like, that's when we started seeing like we needed, like, in order to grow, we had to trust them. We had to.
Yeah.
We love them and everything, but now we have to trust them with our recipes.
Yeah,
the
the
secret
brand.
recipe,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. It's really it's tough, man.
And it's like we noticed that even if you might have the recipe, but once you could do it somewhere else and stuff, but it's more of the, how could I say, like the experience and
Yeah.
that
Right.
making the brand,
Yes.
doing all
The
that
love,
hard
dude.
part.
The love that goes in it. The
Right.
love that goes in it. It counts. It
Yeah.
totally counts.
Because I was more inside the restaurant doing the work, doing the food, and he was in the marketing part where we're trying to get it out there. And I would get mad at him because he would come in and he'd be like, "Hey, make me these tacos. I'm gonna take pictures." And like, that's like, stop taking pictures. Like, we need to get people in here.
You're wasting our food.
Exactly. And he was looking at it a different way when we were in the same page.
Right.
And we actually had a lot of arguments in the beginning.
Oh, I bet. Plus your brother's on top of that, so there's already that factor in it.
I was grateful that they placed a lot of trust in me, not having been in the industry. So for them to just trust me to go out and do my thing, that was, I mean, to this day, I still feel humbled by it because they literally brought someone into their circle, into this, what's going to be a giant corporation, and trusted me to run with it. Almost like, Raul, go ahead, do your thing. And so far, I've made an effort to not let them down.
No, I think you're doing a great job. I know when I met you, it was like, boom. I literally thought you were the owner. You were talking that passionate.
Well,
I'm serious, for real.
The other day we went to a rewards. It was what was it?
Which one?
The one we won the reward.
For this
Yeah.
one here?
It
Well,
was like, awards.
There's so many awards around this place. man.
So we were there, right? We were sitting down. Road was on the table, and then out of somewhere was like, "Where's Road?" He was like a tornado, like everywhere. Like everyone was saying hi to him.
Yeah.
Like, wait, you know Road? He's like, yeah, he's everywhere. Like,
I sat down and he just said, "What are you doing?" Because everybody's in tuxedos and dinner's being served. And I,
we're doing.
I said, "I'm still working."
He was closing caterings that night. I was like, bro, how many
Nice.
caterings did you get? And he was like, we got like 3, 4. I was like, but I
That's
mean,
what he does.
I think one of the things that you were asking right now too is something else that we noticed, that when you bring people from the out in, we realize that if people know how to drop their ego,
Mm.
that's when you know that it's gonna work out. Because sometimes that ego is not gonna let them. If you tell them go this direction,
Mm.
just because of their ego, they won't drop it. They go a different direction.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's one of the red flags I think we catch now, and that's something that we have here at the corporate. That even though we all work, we're all the same. We know that. All right, if Rose doing marketing over there, like his ego up, we want it to go up, you know. So it's like knowing when to let your ego go up and when to drop it. But I feel like when people from the outside come and we see that their ego's really big, we're like, yeah, that's
It's
not
not gonna
gonna,
work.
it's
Not
not
gonna
gonna
fit
work.
here. Not gonna
Yeah.
fit
It's not
here.
part of the culture.
Yeah.
It's just, you know, they didn't like that.
That's a great point.
Yep.
Yeah, I would say the one of the biggest things I learned the last organization I was with when I started there, I was like employee, like 17 or something like that, and we grew that to over 1,650 employees. We did $1 million our first. We lost $500,000, but we did $1 million our first year. And then when we sold the business, we did the equivalent of about 190 million of top line revenue, and we sold it for almost a 9-figure exit. So it was the wireless industry at the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. But the point I was making was, as we grew the organization, it evolved multiple times, much like you've already experienced in some
Okay.
ways. 3 to 23, there was some growing pains in that process. And some of the people that were with you in the early days, some of them may not be with you now
Yeah.
because they weren't a right fit. And you may not have completely understood what your culture looked like.
Mhm.
Our culture never really changed, but it defined itself more and more the older we got as a company. So as we got clearer on what our culture was, we had a better time finding the right people who
Yes.
fit the organization that we
That's
worked
good.
with, that we
Top,
could
that's
trust
key.
with the secret recipes and things like that.
It's more specific.
Yes, exactly. You have a better understanding of what you're looking for, and as you find those people, you're like, that guy should be on
That's
our
the
team.
one.
He needs to be
that's
on
the
our
one.
team.
Yep.
Kind of like what you did with Raul, right? In a
Yeah, and I
sense,
think
right?
before knowing all this, I think we just got. I think we got lucky because Raul.
I didn't know Jesus very well. I knew he was the partner.
Didn't you meet him on a ladder or
I said
something
hi
like
to
that?
him.
He was up
I
on a
met
ladder.
George. He was on a ladder.
Oh, okay. I know one of the guys you met
I
talking
was
on a ladder.
angry. I was angry. I felt bad for going around yelling, cursing, like, dude, what the? I mean, I was upset. And his reaction was, "Sorry, I'm George. I'm the owner," and I felt bad. It was so genuine, but that's how a friendship began. It was not a good first impression. However, it wasn't a good first impression the other way around either. That was my second visit there, and it was closed.
Yeah.
So I was patient.
Hey.
I was willing to give it another shot. And thankfully, they gave me a shot.
Right.
I'll say this though about the whole trusting everybody with things like that. There's one thing, and I again I did an episode on this too. It's like I can give you my playbook how I run this show. Doesn't mean you're going to be able to do it like me.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So even if that dude tried to, rip your recipe off and things like that, he's not going to execute it like you because he's not
Yes.
you guys.
Yeah.
He didn't have that experience, starting in COVID in your mom's kitchen, selling tacos out of the barbershop. He didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? So, and just like me with my show and Eric with his background, my background, we can give them the playbook. They're not going to be able to execute it like we do because they're not
That's
us.
so true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
So
true.
there is that trust factor, but at the same time, there's always going to be competition. There's going to be copycats. Somebody's going to come around and try to do the tacos like you, but they're not going to do them like you because they're not.
And that guy, he's the one in charge with all the restaurants. He takes care of them. That's how much he really wanted to learn.
Yeah, well, he did. I'm
And
glad,
I
he
feel-
was loyal. I'm glad he was loyal.
One of the things that you said right now, we've always liked that part since the beginning, was that in the beginning we were like, oh, there's competition now. And then at first it kind of put us on like, oh, but now actually, if I feel like once we started focusing just on ourselves, competition is really good.
Yeah.
It works
Yeah.
it either works good for you or bad. But once we started seeing that, there's more competition, but let's focus on ourselves and get better.
That's
Yes.
it.
Yes.
We-
There you go.
Keeps you sharp.
Yes,
You don't
like
get lazy. You can't.
yes.
fall back. Yep.
So I think just every time as you go, and that's something that we talk about, like Rose said today. It's just how can we get better? How can we keep getting better? We might be we said this last time. We felt like we're always the underdog, but we're looking at it as like, all right, let's work as a team and just kill it.
But you're on everybody's radar now. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
You're not you're the hunted, not the hunters anymore. So it comes with a different thing. He won 2 national kickboxing championships.
Hmm.
So it's different when he had the belt, trying to keep the belt, as opposed to when he was coming
Right.
up and trying to get the belt. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's the thing. But when you're on top, and that's going to keep you hungry. That's going to keep you sharp, or at least it should, or else you're going to get knocked the fuck out.
Yes.
That's
You know? So that's something that you have to be able to. I think competition's flat. Hey, you want to be like me? Good luck.
Good luck catching
Bring
up,
your
right?
Bring your A game. Awesome. So you got another one?
No, you're
Oh, okay, cool.
It's your turn.
Is it? All right. So he mentioned the brothership, the relationship, right? What challenges do you guys run into with all the family in the business?
Like Raul said, I think we're going to have to stay all day.
You know what? If I can answer that one, because I'm not specifically family, but that question is a challenging question because it's a sensitive topic. But the ultimate challenge there lies in trying to separate the family from the business.
Yeah.
Because both have their roles.
Yeah.
So if you do what you're supposed to, it should be fine.
Right.
It's when people aren't doing what they're supposed to do. So it's I hate to say it's that easy because it's really not that easy. But
No,
that's
it's
what it comes down to is
But
someone
it's
not,
simple, but
not
it's not
doing
easy.
That's right.
what they agreed to do.
Right.
Yeah.
It's simple, but it's not easy.
I want to add something else to it.
Okay,
I feel like George is going to like this part. So funny part. So when we first started, it was hard, right? We didn't know nothing about restaurant industry, nothing. We didn't know marketing, no finance, nothing. Literally, we were like, oh, we just open up a restaurant, we'll be successful, right? But it wasn't like that. So in those times, we would get in fights. Sometimes there was a time where we got in a bad argument because I was cutting hair to pay the team at the taco spot, and then George was at the restaurant. So we like, George, why is it so slow? Because I'm like, I have to keep cutting hair to be able to pay them. What are you doing? And George's like, well, why don't you stay in here and see how it runs? I'm like, I can't do everything. And then we just started going at it, right? That was one of the biggest arguments I think we had. So we got to a point where like I told him, like, all right, close the restaurant, just sell it. And we did close it. It was in the beginning. We closed the restaurant down. He told the whole team, like, clean up, we're leaving home. It was like 3 p.m. So we closed it down. And then my head was like, all right, how are we gonna sell it? I was like, all right, we probably go on Craigslist. I don't know how. So we were finding a way to sell it, right? Once my mom found out about our argument, she called. I didn't know this, but she called George home to my mom's house.
Did she bring out the chancla and shit?
No, check this out. It's even worse. And then she called.
Even worse.
And then she called me. And then once I got to my mom's house,
she made you hash
and
it
then
out.
he was there. I was like, wait, what is he doing here? I was like, all right, I'm like,
totally see this playing out.
in my head, I was like, I won't say hi to him. I was like, I'm going to my mom's. And then my mom sat both of us on the couch. She's like, why are you guys fighting? We're like, you guys have a team you guys have people to take care of now. You guys, it's not only you guys, it's your whole team behind it that they're relying on this paycheck.
Right.
I was like, hug each other. I'm like, Mom, like, really? And then George's like, well, he kind of was mad too. So then we ended up hugging. So we hugged and then we smiled. We're like, damn, that was it. So we had like literally 4 times like that where my mom would call us to the house. She'll make us hug. And then after that, we were good. And we were like, damn, we really fought for that. So I feel like that was one of the biggest things to my mom being there and kind of like get us so I think now we know that we don't want to go to my mom's house and make her hug. So now we know, all right, we're good now. So, but yeah, I think that helped us out a lot because now we see it. And I feel like growing a business with family, it could be good or it could be bad. And I think now that we see this, we see why a lot of families don't make it because it's not easy.
Yeah.
Once you're inside and you put both of them together, it's gonna be a hard time. But for us, it was my mom for sure.
That's awesome. That's a great story. I appreciate you sharing
that's fantastic. Yeah, that's
that.
fantastic.
I was just going to add, I've worked with my family many times over the years. At one point, I had in one of my roles as a executive director, I had my father was my operations manager. My wife was my operations manager. My father was my inventory manager. Both my brothers were sales managers, and then one of my sisters was a sales rep. And they all worked for the company that I was running in the division that I had. And it made for a really interesting Christmas party. Hey, you didn't hit quota today. What are you doing here? You don't get an extra. You don't get an extra present back. You don't deserve this damn present. Trust me, I can relate.
So
that's crazy.
Your brother works with you now, though.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, my brother and I own a marketing agency together.
And
so,
that's crazy that you say that because at first birthday parties, Christmas, it was always talking about work.
Yeah.
Work,
Oh yeah,
work.
yeah.
it's constant.
And that's
right?
something we learned now. It's like when we're home, we're with the family. Like
We don't
we
talk
won't talk about
Focus
work.
on family.
That's good.
That's
Yes.
smart.
That's
That's
good.
smart.
And I think
And-
it was for only like a year we started doing that. Huh? We're like, all right, we're gonna go to this
We gotta shut it
Christmas
off.
party, and we learned like nothing. Even though we have some good news and stuff,
Right.
we're like, we're not gonna say nothing.
So-
Because it would open up. Those good news will open up to something bad probably at the Christmas party.
Right.
So when we're at the first whatever, if I'm drinking, don't even tell me if I'm at work tomorrow because we're here drinking stuff. We're not talking
I'm
about
just
work.
having a good
That's
time.
all right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
Focused.
Yeah, focused.
That's right. We ain't talking about no work. We're talking about this bottle right
We
here.
love that. George knows how to focus.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, then I appreciate you sharing that because I think that's important because a lot of people, when they start a business, they're like, I'm going to start with all my friends,
Oh,
right? Or I'm going to my family,
wife,
which is another
or,
common
yeah,
thing.
oh,
And it's not good or bad. It's good and bad,
Yeah.
right?
it's both.
Because the good part of it is somebody you can trust, somebody you can lean on, right? But it also creates those other challenges, right? Whether it's competition or it's ego or whatever
Yeah,
it is,
oh,
right?
yeah.
It's like hey, why is it slow? It's your fault. They're like, what are you talking about? That's not my fault, right? It's like,
Yeah, right.
but that is a real thing, and a lot of people that get into business, they run into that. So I really apprecie you sharing that part of the
Yes.
story because
Yeah,
that's
I've seen
super valuable for other people to hear that.
I think
And,
something
um,
else too that worked with us a lot was that knowing. I think this is how Role explained it. Knowing our roles. In
Yes.
the beginning, we thought
Was
Yeah.
just going to say that
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
because if you don't know what you're, sometimes you feel like, oh, I'm doing more. What is he doing? But then if we don't see what he was actually like, this happened a lot with us too.
Yeah.
Like I would always be like in my head, I was like, I'm doing more than you, and then we'll have an argument over that. But then I'll find out like, oh, but he was doing this. So and likewise, So
Yep.
I feel like just knowing now we even know that if he's gone, and Raul will say this right now, whenever George is gone, if my role is this part, I step it up to
You
this
gotta
point.
step up.
Yeah.
And I put his part right. And if I'm gone, he'll step it up. And Raul sees it now where if I'm gone, he'll cover my part. And
Right.
if he's gone, I'll step it up. So, but in the beginning, it wasn't like that.
Right.
So you're saying I
Right.
could leave more often?
No.
You work that in there.
I told you it's focused.
No, I think that's the thing. In a let's just say, because I have a business banking background, I always tell my clients like that. It's different. You guys are family, and I'm glad you guys do it. But what I would always recommend, it could be best friends since high school, whatever, or husband and wife, whatever. The operating agreement in your LLC's got to be ironclad. It defines this is my role. I'm in charge of food. You're in charge of the
The
real
front of the
estate,
house, right? Yep,
things like that. And so if you have that in place, and then that way you understand, you guys have defined, you know what he's doing, and he knows what you're doing, and things like that. So that way you don't have that confusion in there. Like, well, what the fuck are you doing over here? Like, I'm doing my job. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the thing I know is if we were just friends, I don't think we would have made
Oh
it.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's no way. Your
It's
mom,
like-
well, then your mom couldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His mom would have knew something else. My mom would have known something else. So
You guys' moms have been fighting in the streets.
That's right.
And then we would have them hug on.
That's funny. So I got a quick question for you. You guys merged the Tocino Mexican Grill.
Yes.
When did that deal take place?
That was in 2022, I believe. 2023 or I think 2023, right?
Yeah, a couple years ago. Okay.
Okay.
What did you see about that seemed strategic that made sense for you? So again, think about somebody who's started their own business and they're like, how did you even know to negotiate a deal like that or put that deal together?
In the beginning, that was our first franchisee actually.
Okay.
And someone that we knew in common, he's the one that put us together. And when we went to that location, when we saw it, we were like, if it was gonna work. In the beginning, so funny story. In the beginning, when we first started our first restaurant, the very first taco spot, it's 1,300 square feet.
Mm.
But for our eyes was like having bigger restaurants. We thought it was sexy. We're like, we want to have a big fancy restaurant.
Right.
Once we opened up our third location, that was like a 2,400 square feet restaurant. Now we see, we're like, what were we doing?
Yeah.
So I don't need all that rent.
And so once we learned that, we're like, the less square feet, the better. Because all you want people to just come in, come out.
Right.
So when we went from that time, we already knew about that part. So we went to his location. We're like, it's little, so rent is less. So we're like, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But then we saw a big opportunity that they didn't have marketing. I feel like they didn't have that newer, what people now were looking for, like the birria. So we're like, there's a big opportunity for for him transforming his restaurant to the taco spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, since he opened it, he's been a success. He's been. We saw his numbers from what he was doing before to now, and thank God he's doing really good.
Mhm.
So I feel like the way that we're learning too with the taco spot is that, for example, we're taking less items from our menu, because if we have less items, our product cost is lower.
Yes.
And that's one of the opportunities that we see now, that, like, for example, what they had before, it was a bigger menu.
Right.
So we don't know. Sometimes we're like, oh, just because this customer's coming in just for this item, we can't take that item off.
Right.
But we know that our main thing is birria, so why add
Yeah.
more stuff to it?
Nope.
And then have your kitchen team be harder for them to train, harder for them to manage the kitchen.
Right.
And I think that's one of the successes too, because I remember in the beginning,
Totally.
he didn't want to take one of, I think it was pozole or menudo. And we're like, just believe in us, just trust us.
Trust us, yeah.
People are going to come for the birria. And thank God he trusted us. And he's doing a killing now. Like,
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
No, I think that's the one thing. I don't want to mention other. We talked about. I don't want to mention any other restaurants, things like that. But the one we go to all the time, it's what you're getting, and it's going to be that quality, that good every single time. You know, you go to some restaurants, they have like 10 pages of like, that's just crazy. They do have seated locations, by the way. Don't let it fool you. It's not just all. It's not just all takeout, but. No, I think that's again. It comes back to the process and it's repeatable. A friend of mine, I love this saying: "Be brilliant at the basics." You guys are brilliant at it. You guys are brilliant all day, every day, and it just it keeps that flow going.
yes.
So I want, in the interest of time, I want to wrap up like one last question. Did you have some?
I was just going to say, just going to add to that last piece is that if you look at some of the other franchise restaurants that are out there, the fast food quick service, the ones that are the most successful have a very similar model.
Right.
Yes.
Leaner menus,
Yep.
keeps your product costs down.
Mhm.
I mean, your two major costs in running a restaurant is labor and food costs,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and if you can manage your food costs effectively and you have the discipline and the systems to manage that, that's the one thing that makes the difference between whether or not you're successful or not in a
Yes.
restaurant.
100%.
And where I see a lot of small business owners struggle and can't ever make the leap from 1 to 2 or 3 restaurants is because they're so caught up in the kitchen with the focus of the food. And like, well, I can't take this off the menu because this one guy comes in and buys that one thing. And if you if you do that, right, that's the
It's like, dude, everybody's got menudo, okay?
Yeah.
You get it. It's like, yeah.
you got $1,000 in food costs that you just dumped that would have gone in your pocket. Right,
Yes.
or you would have used it for other sales for somebody who comes in at 3 times the rate to buy
Yes.
something else, right? Super smart.
And it's hard. I feel like because when we first started, we took it out like 6 items from the menu.
Oh wow!
But every single item that we took off, it was hard because we remember we were building the menu that we had it, that how we created it. So I feel like making the decision to take it off, it's not easy. And I tell George sometimes, like, hey, sometimes we'll be on the phone call, be like, what do you think we should take off next? We'll be like, let's take 5. We're like, oh, I don't know. But I think now as we learn, it's easier for us to make those decisions.
Right. You know what works and you know what doesn't work and things like that. So that I haven't had the pizza yet, but that's going to be the next thing I go get that pizza because I'm so hooked on that damn ramen taco thing. It's like, but the next time I'm going to get into pizza, that's for damn sure. Okay. So message to 2020, if you guys could go talk to you guys back then, handling, tacos to the barbershop, things like that. What would you tell those? What would you tell those two guys? To hug it out?
Oh. I think I'll tell them. I think it was kind of late. Well, not late because we actually got there, but to give more trust in God. Sometimes,
Absolutely.
Wow.
That's me right there all day.
yeah. Sometimes we think it's all us, but thanks to God,
Amen.
He's blessing us and giving us a blessing every day to get off the bed and keep doing what we're doing.
Amen. I'm down with that program.
For me, I think would be for me.
Hug it out.
I don't know.
Hug your brother, man. Hug your brother.
Because I feel like, because everything that we went through, it was hard, but it was for a reason.
Right.
Yes.
So I feel like stuff I would be like, I could have been like, oh, like, yeah, learn this first, but sometimes if we don't, it's like a process.
Right.
And
you can't have a testimony without a test, right?
right?
Yeah.
Just I think we enjoy the moments more.
Yeah.
Because I think now that Now that we
Yes.
now we look back, and those hard moments are actually we have more gratitude towards those moments that we went through before, because now we see that what happened now. And when you're not enjoying those moments, I feel like it makes it harder for your growth, for your day by day.
Yeah. You
Now,
get burned out.
yes, for example, we had a we didn't say the story, but we had a pickup truck that got repoed, well, George's truck, and it was either doing marketing or keeping that truck. We decided to do marketing. 3 months later, that truck got repoed. So my dad had a pick. We didn't have a truck. We had a pickup truck, and that pickup truck would overheat. We didn't have tires, but that was the only truck we had to move around. Now that truck is in the backyard. We have it right here in the back.
No
Yeah.
way.
Every time I
Nice.
see it, those moments,
Right.
Yeah.
I remember
Right.
Yeah.
it was
That's
super
awesome.
hot, and I was like, oh, why am I in this truck? I was like, but now that I see it right here in the back, I'm like, I smile every time.
Yep.
So I feel like we were enjoy those moments, and like George said, trust God. It just
You
makes
got
a
you got
difference.
to park next to the Escalator.
Yeah.
That's a nice truck. You got.
If I would be able to say something to Jorge and Jesus in 2020, I think I would. It's easy to say today, knowing what I know,
Right.
but I would tell them probably something very similar with my mentality. I would tell them to stay the course. I would tell them that when they felt like taking the foot off the gas to cruise, to step on the gas and to not let anybody dim their light. I mean, there's things that I still say to this day,
Yeah, man.
but I think I would tell them that anyways, because at the beginning I wanted them to win.
Yeah.
So I'd bring my friends and my family, and I'll share a quick story that my daughter has been a fan since the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And she was little. She was 10 years old when we first started going, and I think it was either the second year that they're open, 22. She drew a Father's Day card for me and drew things that I liked. So she drew a swoosh for Nike and some sports. I think she might have even wrote ESPN on it. But in the top right hand corner, she drew a taco and wrote the taco spot. And I was like, how cool is that? So I took a picture of it and I sent it to them. I said, hey, check this out. And then I don't remember who replied, but one of them said, oh, tell your daughter, bring her in for a free meal. And I was like, cool. And I show it to her, and her reaction, are we going today? I'm like, no, sweetheart, we live in Scottsdale. It's far away. Next time you're with me, we'll go. But she was so amped about it. But it was something that we were always tied to it. Like we were always invested into how are they doing. I mean, there's times I'd eat there, and if he got there before I left, I'd like, come here, I want to share something with you. And I'd give him some ideas, or I'd tell him, hey, why do you do it this way? And he would explain, sometimes because it looks cool right there. Like, you're right, it does, but do you have a reason? He was like, yeah, I just like how it looks. But I would always want to know, pick his brain why he did certain things, and then I'd give him ideas, and he'd look at me like, have you owned a restaurant before? I'm like, no. And there's times where I think George he thought about what I shared, and he says, how do you know these things? And I said, well, truthfully, I don't know restaurants, but I've owned businesses before. So what I saw was I didn't see food or recipes. I saw a table and numbers, and what I'm thinking about was that number at the bottom line. And some of the ideas were like turning the kitchen into an assembly line. Let's get more product out to the people that are waiting for food.
Yeah.
I go, the guy behind me, he may have never been here.
Mm.
I know what's coming. I'm gonna wait. He might be like, oh my God, I gotta go. I'll come back another time. And he might find his next favorite.
Right. Yeah,
So when I shared this with George, I thought about it when Jesus was talking about taking things off the menu. I told him, you got to take things off the menu, and things that I even remember enjoying that aren't there anymore. It was ideal for them to come off from a business standpoint.
Oh yeah. No.
It couldn't be that, oh, Raul likes this. Like you were saying, that one guy, it wasn't enough to sustain that. And that's something that, from a personal standpoint, was probably a hard decision for them to make.
Yeah. But
I mean, they've stayed the course.
Yeah. And the menu is fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, you know what you're getting when you walk in. I mean, it's just like, one more question.
Yeah. So two things. Short story. When I lived here in Phoenix, I got promoted in the industry that I was in, and I moved to LA and negotiated a really nice deal. Got a corner office, all on the 26th floor, all this fun stuff and everything. And one of my employees is like, hey, you got to go to this place, this taco place. And it's called Chemas. It's in Whittier. Now, first time I ever had Mexican tacos that way, right? I've had tacos before, but there's Mexican tacos that way, the way they made them. And I'm like, this is actually amazing. It's like the chopped onions and the cilantro. And you put everything on I'm like, I'd never had it that way before. I had tacos. I had white boy tacos, all right? Let's be honest. So I had those, and I'm like, these are freaking awesome. This is amazing. This is like 20 some odd years ago. But here's what I know. Regardless of how good those tacos were, They never got past one location.
That's right.
So the point is that it's what you did, the story, what you do. And by the way, I know a little bit about businesses. I shared my books with you guys, but when you read that, you'll see in there, it'll shows how often businesses fail. So I don't share that to scare people. I share that to give them a realization.
It's real.
Right? You've already lived some of those experiences. When I sit down with a client, often what I'll say is, hey, look, I've helped grow 2 companies to over $100 million, but I also had my own business and had to take an advance on my credit card to cover payroll. I had to make them wait an extra week a couple times, right? I lived that story. I know what that's like. I can speak to that from that perspective. I said, that's why I'm a good coach, because I can help you identify that. But I share that because you guys, amazing story, right?
Yes.
Thank you.
More people need to hear that story.
That's why we're here.
Because because the truth of the matter is, it's an amazing story. It's family, it's belief, right? It's and it's amazing food, right? And you got a phenomenal story of coming through COVID. Oh, by the way, through COVID, I think it's like 40% of all restaurants shut down in COVID, and not shut down, never reopened during COVID.
Right.
You opened during COVID. Right. So I share that because that's you against all the odds, you guys had an amazing success. But now the person that I am, I got to ask the question, what's the goal?
1,000 taco spots.
1,000 taco spots.
That's it.
That's amazing.
And there's
I
a
love
reason why
it.
behind it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's hear it. We got to hear it.
Give it up.
Here, I love this one. So we went to this is the process where we were about to finalize the franchise part, right? So there was an expo in Phoenix. It was a franchise expo.
Mhm.
So I told George, I'm like, hey, let's go check it out just to see what it's about, right?
Sure.
We're the only 2 like Hispanics, and we're young. So everyone there were like, there was big brands, Subway, like all these big brands, right? So we felt this energy, like they were looking at us like, what are these kids doing here? I was like, George, did you feel that? He's like, yeah. No one has really talked to us. For like, oh, they're probably like a joke. So in the bottom part, they had a conference about, it said Hispanics that had made it in the franchise world, and we went to it. We were in that room, and we're like one of the only ones, and we met 2 other guys that they're from San Jose. They have an amazing story too, and we connected with them after. And from that relationship, we've done a lot of stuff. But
it was only them and us.
yeah, so we were like, wait,
Really?
that's
it.
It was a group
Yes,
of them. It was only
but the
us.
biggest thing, they were like, the Hispanics, like our Hispanic community, like we never get taught how to franchise. And funny story, the guy that was in the front, he made an example. He's like, there might be in California, there's a lot of taquerias that are so good, but they don't open up more because they don't figure out the way
Right.
to how, right? So after that, we left, and we're like, there's actually a big opportunity for us to. Why is there Taco Bells? Why is there so many Taco Bells and they don't have birria tacos, right? So we're like, let's open up 1,000 taco spots and let's take over the game for.
At first, I thought he was playing for 1,000. But then he's like, we'll figure it out.
Hey, you were talking about a jet having a be. You were talking about being on a jet. So you were talking about being on a jet earlier. So hey, man, don't.
So-
hey, wait, hey, not for nothing, but yeah, if it's God's will.
Yes, yes.
I'm just being for real.
And there's right now, so 1,000 taco spots in 10 years. There's currently, we have.
All right, brother.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Somebody's got to work around this joint.
So yeah, so 1,000.
He never
taco spots
stops.
in 10 years. That's the goal.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
That's incredible. All right. So yeah, an interesting time. Like I said, we just want to just wrap things up. Again, now you know why I was so insistent about coming out here and meet with these guys. You heard the story. Go to the taco spot. I promise you're gonna thank me for it. And get that ramen for real. I'm gonna get the pizza the next time we go. Like because the tacos are amazing, but that ramen is unique to you guys too. So it's like I can't say enough about it. So.
This is the book we're going to be reading.
Oh, would that be the CEO's Playbook to Scale? Written by Eric Whitmore?
So funny story how we said about keep learning, right? Yesterday I was like, hey, we need to get a book of seal. And then he brought us a book, like,
And boom, see, that was God one more time.
Exactly.
And just as I was walking out of the house, like, I'm gonna grab them. I don't know if they'll read or not, but I'll take it and see if they like it.
it's crazy.
There you go.
All right,
Thank you.
you guys.
Thank you so much.
Just say something in closing about maybe new locations or just give everybody out there, man. I said close up in Spanish too, whatever. Just whatever you want to say.
I would say that if you're barely starting, don't give up. just keep going and just try to keep learning, and be careful who you get advice from, because sometimes when you're starting and you get the advice from someone else that hasn't done what you want to do, don't take that advice. Take advices from people that are done what you want to do or higher. But yes, that's my biggest thing.
Yeah, how he said is true. Take advice from people that's done it, that's been there, and they've been through that part. Because we did get advice from people that were like, at the end, we're like, wait up.
They don't know. They don't know. Yeah, they're just hating on you anyway, dude. Yeah.
But yeah, and keep trusting and keep going for it.
What about like what's the next location opening up?
That's a good question. I think because Raul was saying 14 locations. I did see in the morning there was 14 locations there, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't go through them. So
Okay. Well,
so
Peoria put it on the map. Trust me.
yeah, I did see that one on there.
Lake Pleasant Parkway. It's right by my house.
And this is the best part, how you guys were saying about the team. Like they worry about it like we're all the same. We're all owners here, and
yeah,
and it's pretty cool how it's not only on us. Like, hey, you guys have to do this or that. Like they take care of it too.
Yep. That's the one thing we talk about on both our shows and things like that. Like you have to have people buy into the vision.
Yes.
Okay. When they buy into the vision, like I said, and when you treat them right and you treat them, like I said, like their family, like they're part of this organization, they're gonna go all out. If they're here for a pay, if they're here for a paycheck and they're just a number, they're not gonna work. But like these guys are they got their blood, sweat, and tears in this too.
Sometimes I see messages coming in at 2 a.m, like, oh, this is going on tomorrow or whatever, and it's cool. It's like, they sleep dreaming the type of stuff.
Man, that's when you know they bought in, man. They're
drinking the Kool-Aid.
All right, and on that note, we're out.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.